Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about What If Episode 8, What If Ultron won? And yeah, we get to see the outcome of Age of Ultron, but played out differently, where if Ultron succeeded at creating a new body for him, the Vision was supposed to be his original body, how he would have succeeded at just killing all the Avengers by having that body he created, which eventually, in our timeline, as the Watcher says, he becomes the Vision. And as soon as he spoke, I was wondering, oh, did they get James Spader back to do the voice of Ultron? And unfortunately, no. And I kind of guessed who it was. I guessed that it was the same actor who played the Red Skull in Infinity War, who did come back in the very first episode of this show, where he returned as the Red Skull. And I thought to myself, it sounds a little bit like him. As soon as he said the word purpose, it sounded a lot like the way Hugo Weaving would say purpose. And I caught a little bit of that Hugo Weaving voice in him. And I was right. It was, I think his name was Ross Marquand, who I know he's in The Walking Dead as well. Well, yes, it was the same actor. And look, he did a really great job as Ultron, so I'm not going to take that away from him. I could tell it wasn't James Spader. And I was just wondering how much more cooler would have been if James Spader had returned to voice Ultron again. But whatever, for what it was, this episode reminded me how great of an episode, I mean, how great of a villain Ultron actually is, how calculated and smart. Well, calculated, smart, I guess it's the same thing. How calculated he was in proceeding at his plan, and maybe not realizing that, hey, once you destroy everything, what's left? You're just gonna have no purpose, as the Watcher even points out in this episode. I thought it was great that we got Hawkeye and Black Widow getting a lot of focus in this episode, with a lot of cameos from not just characters from Earth, but characters from around the universe, or maybe even the multiverse, as the Watcher points out in this episode. It was a lot of great Easter eggs. I'll say that, to try to scavenger for. A lot of callbacks to previous films, like Winter Soldier and Civil War. If you know the bunker that Natasha brings Clint to find Zola, that was in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So that she was able to bring Zola back online to try to get him into the Ultron, one of the Ultrons, and then hack into Ultron's system. I thought was a interesting way of getting back at Ultron, but it failed ultimately because they find out that he's not even in this reality. And I like seeing the relationship between Hawkeye and Black Widow. We even get to see the reverse of Infinity War or Endgame, where Natasha is the one that sacrifices herself to get the Soul Stone so Clint can bring it to the others. In this episode, we get to see Clint sacrifice himself so Natasha can go on and save the multiverse, if you will. I also, another thing cool, the scene where Clint sacrifices himself to allow Natasha to go. It was the same bunker as the one in Civil War. I noticed because when they were climbing up, they would show the shot of them climbing up in the round circle, and I was like, oh, that's where Tony and Cap fought in Captain America: Civil War, and where they were like, Tony was trying to kill Bucky, and Bucky was trying to escape, and they all fell back down. Yeah, it was interesting seeing a lot of those callbacks to the films, those references to the films. Ultron finding out that the Watcher was actually watching. It's like we only seen one other character do that before. We saw the Dark Doctor Strange do that before, which I thought was interesting. And I'll get to the little ending afterwards. But yeah, when Ultron discovers that the Watcher is watching him and realizes, oh wait, there's not just this universe that I can conquer. There's a whole vast of other universes that I could go out and destroy. Even though, like, what would be the point though? But okay, Ultron, you do what you got to do. That's why you're the bad guy. So it was interesting, and getting to see the Watcher actually interact with one of those characters, fighting them, defending himself, and like worrying about the whole situation, realizing what he should do. Should he step in and help? It was interesting seeing this back and forth, and him trying to figure out on his own, like, if the temptation of helping out Clint. Like when Clint was going through the files, the Watcher was actually thinking of helping Clint out, pointing him into the right direction, although he didn't at that point. So when it looks like the Watcher escapes this whole battle between him and Ultron, you're thinking, okay, so what's gonna happen next? And he's in this weird dimension looking place, and you hear a voice, and you see the dark Doctor Strange behind him, and he's like, so are you ready to say it? I want to hear you say it. And he says, okay, you're gonna make me say it? Okay. Yes, I'm gonna need your help. So it looks like this is the beginning of the finale, where we're gonna be headed next week. I'm curious on how the final episode of this show was going to go, because we know that this season is 9 episodes. We were supposed to have 10, but they pushed one back for next season. My only worry is that the episode next week ends with a cliffhanger, and then we have to wait for another season. I don't want to do the whole cliffhanger thing. Just give me all the episodes. I hope it wraps up the season nicely. We're gonna get a big team up. I don't know what the next one was going to be, but maybe it was going to be, maybe it was going to be some closure for one of the characters. Like maybe it was supposed to be a Peggy Carter episode again, but showing how she goes on after that whole multiverse situation. I don't know. But yeah, this was a fantastic episode. Easily my favorite episode of the series so far. This was all the episodes I've given an 8 out of 10 so far too. This one I would give a 9 out of 10. This was a 9 out of 10 episode. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the pacing was great. I thought a lot of we're starting to see things come together in this final episode, especially when they brought back the dark Doctor Strange. That's already the tease for next week, what we're going to get. We kind of got that tease last week with the Ultron Vision showing up in Thor's world. Will we see that on the other end of things next week? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I can't wait. Next week, the finale. Oh man, it's going to be so good. With that being said, comment below, guys, and tell me your thoughts on the newest What If episode. Did you think Ultron ruled? You can't wait for next week to see more? Let me know in the comment section below, and tell me what you think of the series overall. I know I'm enjoying the series a lot. I've heard a few other critics or movie pundits say that, yeah, they think the show is okay. Others are loving it, like me. So I'm curious to know what my subscribers think of the show. With that being said, let me plug in my Patreon supporters. These are the people that support this channel. They donate to a monthly subscription fee, which is a $5 tier or a $10 tier. $10 more for generosity if you can. Right now, they will get you a end credit at the end of each video, showing that you are a supporter of this channel and you want to help make it grow by supporting. So if you can, that could be great. If you can't, there are other ways to support the channel too. They might not be as useful as a Patreon page, but I get it. We're all in struggling times. But you can watch every video I post up, like every video I post up, comment and start discussions below, especially if you're a fan of What If or anything that I talk about. Like, talk about it with other fans too, not just me. I'll talk about it too if I can find a way to reply back and see if there's anything I can add to the conversation. But yeah, there's other people that I know are subscribed to my channel and I know watch my videos. So let's start some discussions, guys. Come on. With that being said, I think that's about it. With that being said, okay, let's end this here. So, or else I'll be repeating myself. Until next time, everybody, take care.